Okay, welcome to day 4 and happy 4th of July. This day was going to be super relaxing for us, and we started it out by heading to my brother's house for some grilled burgers, some hot dogs, and of course, some swimming. Levi and Colson, my 2 nephews, were already in the pool when we got there, and then my kiddos went straight for the hammock. This hammock is so relaxing, but it's also low-key dangerous, guys. It will flip on you in an instant. So here was lunch. Again, he grilled some burgers. We had some veggies and some fruit, some hot dogs. So delicious. Of course, gotta have chips with your burgers on the 4th of July. And after we had our really quick lunch, then the kids went back outside for a water balloon fight and even more swimming. Ava was like a sharpshooter. And then my brother pulled up their little bitty trampoline to the side of the pool so that they could jump off of it into the pool. There he is with his youngest boy, Colson. And leave it to my brother. He is just like a kid. He's like one of them. And they love having fun with him in the pool. He, of course, goes underwater, lets them jump off his shoulders. I guess what I'm trying to say is they love their Uncle Colby because he takes up time with them. He's like a big kid himself, and he always has a good time. After we rested and everyone got dried off and changed, it was time for us to head to the show Medieval Times. Now, the only person who in my family that's been to the show was Brady. Last year he went with his youth group, and my brother and his wife have been here, but none of the rest of us had been to this show. And we are expecting something kind of like the Dixie Stampede in Branson, Missouri, which is quite honestly one of our favorite things to do. So we had high hopes for Medieval Times. So when we came in, we were presented with our tickets, and of course we got our crowns, and then we were ushered in to take our group photo. Now, I will say I am a person who will buy the group photo, but they never came around and showed it to us, and I don't know why. And so when we left, I just didn't even bother with it. But I seriously would have purchased it because I like the memories. So when you come in after your photo, you go into this like great hall, and there are several different entrances. You can see everyone is waiting here because the doors have not opened yet. And they announce to us which side or which entrance we go in based on the colors of our crown. So we were the red and yellow team, and that's the colors of our knight that's going to compete in the show. It's also the entrance that we were supposed to take. So we were making our way through this crowded foyer area, and we found our seats. We were on row 3. Everyone's going to give you a good wave, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of the arena. So because we knew that this was a sort of a knockoff of the Dixie Stampede, I am going to compare them, but I'm also going to give you my honest review. Now, I'm pretty much a nobody, so it's not like I'm going to harm nor help Medieval Times, but I will point out to you what we enjoyed and what we thought could use a little bit of work. First and foremost, here is our menu, which is tomato bisque, toasted garlic bread, roasted chicken, buttered corn, herb roasted potato, as well as a dessert and our drinks. So right there is the tomato bisque that we started with. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It tasted like it was just poured straight out of a can and warmed up in the bowl. Not very good at all. However, when they brought out the garlic bread and I dipped the garlic bread in the tomato bisque, if I close my eyes, it did kind of taste like pizza. I know that's weird, but that was the only way I was ever going to eat that tomato bisque. So personally, Medieval Times, you need to make a delicious, creamy tomato soup. In my humble opinion, of course. So what you're going to see now is the introduction of every section's knights. So if you'll look in the back of the screen, you'll see a guy on a horse that has white and black. The section behind him is the white and black section. He's the white and black knight. At the end to your left there is just the yellow knight. Then you had a blue. And then, of course, our guy was going to come out. And we were red and yellow. There he is. So our entire section is cheering for him. After introducing the rest of the knights, which included a red knight and then a green knight, it was time for the king and queen to come out. That's who you're going to see in the center there, followed by the man on the black horse, which he's kind of like the MC of the entire thing. I'm not really sure. I know there's probably a technical name for it, but he's the guy that just helps narrate everything that's going on. And then it was time for our feast. So there was roast chicken, and I have to say it was great. It was seasoned well. It was just a lot. Also on the plate was buttered corn and then that half of a seasoned potato. And I have to say, guys, that was the best buttered corn I think I've ever had. And I'm not a huge corn on the cob fan. And then the herbed seasoned potato was delicious as well. Then we go back to the entertainment. So they had several competitions that they went through. I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm here to give you an honest review so that you know if it's worth spending your money on. So here we go. These competitions were honestly not competitive at all. These were really easy tasks that I feel like most people could do. Oh, let's take a moment for dessert. And by the way, this was the worst thing we had of the night. It was like a pastry filled with cream topped with a little bit of chocolate. It was cold. It was dry. It was not good. They could have served us a chocolate chip cookie and did better than that. All right, back to the entertainment. Now, this form of jousting was honestly just them riding by each other very fast. They were never going to knock each other off their horses, I realized very quickly. They just strategically pointed their jousting sticks at each other's shields and they shattered and broke. So, yeah, it wasn't real in any shape, form, or fashion. And if you have a small child, then they probably would not recognize. But as you can tell by this shot right here, all of the acting was incredibly delayed. My husband and I had quite an opinion about this because you could have actually done the same sequence, the same fighting sequences, the same everything, and not delayed it as much, and it would have definitely looked more real. Like when they're actually going back and forth, it's not so noticeable, but whenever they make a shot that is supposed to injure the other knight, their reaction to that push or that shove or that hit is so incredibly delayed that it was just hard for us to get over it. Now, I will say if this is your favorite part of the show and it is the most action, their fighting sequences lasted a really long time and every single knight got a chance. And the metal on metal, that noise is actually, it sounds like a real fight. All in all, I honestly do not recommend Medieval Times unless you're taking small children. I had a teenager, a preteen, and a 10-year-old, and I don't think that they enjoyed it very much. So after Medieval Times, we went back to my brother's house to play games, hang out, and just visit. They wanted to show us this new service that their Walmart offers. You guys, it's drone delivery. Yes, you heard me right. It is delivery of your groceries by drone. Now, of course, you can't do a complete order, but it's for those times when you forgot 1 or 2 or 3 ingredients that aren't heavily weighted. So Teresa ordered a bag of M&Ms at the red light, and 10 minutes later, a Walmart drone came to the front yard. Y'all, we were so excited. We all came out. I filmed it. They fly over your house and they drop the bag with the goods, which in this case was a bag of M&Ms. And then the little hook goes back up into the drone and he flies back to Walmart. I have never seen something this cool in my life. Y'all, this was just the neatest thing. We spent the rest of the evening making funny TikToks, visiting with my brother and his family, and then I went back to the hotel to enjoy a Diet Coke and some chips.